QLCplus Virtual Console Part 3 Cue List. Alright, so we talked about faders, talked about buttons. Now we're going to actually talk about the cue list up here in the Virtual Console. So as you can see, currently our cue list is completely empty here. As you remember from an earlier tutorial, if we go back to functions, underneath the chaser we created our main cue list. And it's like a chaser but with timing, where we have infinity holds and infinity duration. Go back to the Virtual Console, make sure we're in design or edit mode, go over here and double click. And now it says no function. We're going to select a function. The main cue list is going to be our chaser that we're going to use in this function right here. And I'm just going to leave it titled as cue list and click OK. Now it goes in. You can see that it's grayed out because we're not in run mode currently. We're still in edit mode. One thing we could have done too back here in the functions is added notes to this, like page notes, scripts, that kind of thing. That would help you again when you're running your show. So we're ready to go here. All we have to do is click run mode, and now it goes black, which means we are in run mode. Let's bring up our DMX monitor so we can see what our lights are doing. You click here to start, and as you can see, we're fading up. Scene 1 has faded in. That is the current scene. The orange block is telling you that this is the next scene that we will be doing. Now we'll click next arrow. We're going to progress to scene 2. And it actually gives you a fader time across the bottom as that scene's coming in. Blackout. Next scene. Scene 1 fades in. Scene 2 fades in. Alright, if you're going to pause, you would click this. Then you have to click run again and then progress forward here. You can also move backward through the cue structure, just like you would with a normal light board. And it's basically that easy to do. Okay, one thing to note too that I haven't mentioned previously, but we do have some options here on this cue list. You can do, if you're old school and you want to do a cross time cue fade, you can actually grab this, and Q6 is currently being shown, Q7 would be next. We would slide this and crossfade to Q7. And then now we're going from 7 to 8. So it's actually the old-fashioned crossfading thing that you can do by hand. So you actually control the timing as you go from one scene to the next. So it's kind of a neat feature that they've actually included in there too, in case you really want to go old school and do it by hand timing if you wish to do that. To stop, we just click stop. It fades out and we're back where we were, and we just go back to edit mode from there. Alright, hopefully this will all be helpful to you. Again, if you have any questions. One other thing, I have included a Grandmaster here and with a blackout key in case of an emergency. But keep in mind when you're running the Virtual Console, there actually is a Grandmaster over here on the side, which you can use also as a dimmer. I just put one in here because sometimes it's a little not obvious that there's a Grandmaster over here on the side. So I did put a Grandmaster in here too that you can control. And actually you could use this as an overall value if you want to kind of dim everything down about 20%. You can also do that while you're running the show.